Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. The day is getting interesting by the second. It's definitely Bad News Friday, and we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Obviously, before we do that, make sure that you like and subscribe. It does help the channel. So let me click a few things over here real quick, and we'll get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is you can't make this stuff up, guys. Our administration is just completely out to lunch on anything and everything that is protocol related. It's not, one would say that it's inexperience, but it's obviously stupidity. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the release of the photo, which I will not show you here. And frankly, I'm tired of seeing with everybody putting lines on their faces. The photo of the Special Forces operators. And I don't know any of these guys, but I do recognize what they're wearing. And it's pretty simple. You're supposed to know that you don't take pictures of these guys. And they're supposed to feel safe enough to know that you won't do anything with those pictures if you just happen to snap one away. Because they believe in their country, and whether they hate the guy or not, believe that the president of the United States is the commander-in-chief. And they take it to be a great honor that they would get to shake hands with him and be told that what they're doing is good and righteous and what they signed up for. And then you go out and you betray them. You completely betray their trust. They're like, what? We can't trust this guy to frickin' do the right thing in the simplest of moments. Now, the White House has said, quote, as soon as this was brought to our attention, because you didn't freaking know, you're telling me you're that stupid that you didn't know that what you were doing was 100% wrong. You were so busy trying to prop up this 80-something-year-old octogenarian brain fart of a man. You were so busy trying to make him look good and strong because you want him to be elected again, that you violated security protocol. Quote, as soon as this was brought to our attention, we immediately deleted the photo because the internet's not forever. A bunch of damn Gen Zers, a bunch of millennials, a bunch of retards. Sorry for the words, guys, but I'm a little fired up about this because I know some of the people that are in these organizations. And you just hung them out to dry. You just put their families on the list. You just said to all the bad guys in the world that, well, let's see, like, anybody ever heard of Google image search? Anybody ever heard of Facebook? Seeing the photos of a friend of a friend? Anybody ever seen that? Anybody ever heard about the armies of people that are in the intelligence and counterintelligence communities for our enemies, whose their sole purpose in life is to find these people? Quote, we regret the error and any issues this may have caused. Yeah, because it fixes everything, doesn't it? It just makes everything all hunky-dory. I honestly think that some of these people need to take more than a class. I think they need to feel some of the pain that is being inflicted on these families right now. The families of the wives of the families who just saw that picture and said, that's my husband. Oh, crap. We need to fix this government. We need to make it clear that these people cannot continue doing this. And the only way we can do that is by removing them from office. Yes, I advocate for voting them out. But when we do get rid of these people, we need to clean house. We need to have a process where we know who the bad people were. There should be people in all of these men and women who are running to be our president. They should have a little section that talks about knowing who people are. so that we can make sure that they don't stick around. You remember how all the problems we had during Trump's first year with the leaks? You remember all that? Those kind of people, because they will be left behind. They're kind of like sneaky little stragglers that oh yes, America, 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 but in the background they're like, we just want to destroy this guy so we can put our blue collar, our blue tide guy back in. Guys, I'm a little fired up about this because this stupid photo that they just had to have to try and make somebody look more presidential completely screwed a lot of people. It put some of our best operators in harm's way for no reason. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to that. Do me a favor, guys. If you want to put something in the comments, as usual, if you put something in there that is adult-like and worth relaying, I will talk about it. Shut up, phone. And relaying, I will I will see if I can't get it into the next video. I do have some at the very end of this one that there's some questions that need to be answered. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about, guys, they are not a sponsor, but I am an affiliate for Jace Medical, the Jace case. Matter of fact, there's one right back there. Yes, it actually has medicine in it because it's the real deal. I have been an affiliate for Jace for almost a year and a half now. Completely satisfied with their product. It's just spot on, just spot on. Now, before we move on, I've got to ask you a question. Are you prepared for skin, sinus, throat, or dental infections, urinary tract infections, pneumonia, bite wounds, intra-abdominal infections? And that's just to name a few. I'm a believer in owning antibiotics, and I think that you should be too. So what this comes down to when I'm talking about this, guys, it's not a sales pitch. It's reality, okay? I have multiple cases. I have multiple companies that I use, but I like the Jace case more than any others because they spend all the money on medicine and not on the case itself like their competitors. So take a look at the Jace case, guys. I think that we've just become too comfortable. We don't see this problem as for what it is. Now, if you guys didn't know this, Walgreens actually had they had some walkouts, guys. They were pharmacists. They had a couple hundred stores where their pharmacists just walked out. And Walgreens has actually closed 200 stores. The reason is for lack of staff. So let's see this. Let me see if I get this right. You've been getting your medications from Walgreens for forever. We'll say forever. And all of a sudden you go there the next day and they're closed. All of your prescriptions, everything that's sitting on the counter that you were supposed to get, that the doctor ordered, they fill the prescription and it's in a little bag on a little thing on the side and they're back there where the pharmacists live, and but the doors are closed and locked. These things actually happened to people in the last month. Not a joke. Oh, well, I'll just call the other pharmacy and have that transferred over. Well, good luck with that. Have fun with that, because pharmacists will tell you that basically if they get like 20 orders behind, it's a crisis. It's a problem inside of that little pharmacy. This is causing all the other pharmacies to be over 200 orders behind. Guys, if you don't have the medications that you need to survive when times are good, what makes you think that you're going to have them when times are bad? And I guess that's the real question. Oh, well, times won't be bad. Whatever. I've had to use that case and another one 3 times in the last year and a half. Saved me hundreds of dollars. I recommend that you take a look at it. I'll leave a link in the description below. You're adults. You spend your money how you want to. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is, I got to take a drink of coffee for this one. So if you stayed up and you watched that, I say that like I'm 700 years old. At 8:00 p.m. Eastern time last night, the president made an address from the Oval Office. Now, guys, speeches from the Oval Office traditionally are reserved to project power, okay, from the resolute desk. They're normally speeches like, We may be going to war, guys. We just got attacked and we will destroy these people. Every president prior to this one has used that desk, that resolute desk, that office in a speech to speak to the United States as well as the world. And last night we received a muddled hodgepodge of words. It just wasn't a bad speech. It just wasn't a bad speech. It was a speech that said nothing. Here's the 4 things that came out in the speech. Spending bill, Israel, that place that we can't talk about that has all the cranes, and hugs and kisses. That's what happened for, I want to say it was 20 minutes long, from the Resolute desk within the Oval Office that is supposed to be reserved for speeches that project military power, that project American power, steadfastness, fortitude. It's not what happened. It is a freaking joke. This president is a joke. The administration is a joke. And every single day since the 1st of January in 2020, or well, no, was it January 20th, I think, has proven it. Failure after failure, hiccup after hiccup, mistake after mistake. I mean, that should literally be their running theme for the next blue tie person, or this one right here who tries to get reelected. Guys, we know we screwed up for the last 4 years, but we learned a lot. We're ready to lead. We're ready to govern. You're not. You're jokes. And everybody knows it. All right, that was more of a rant than anything else, but I needed you guys to understand what happened with the speech last night. We don't have a government right now. If you guys didn't figure it out, we don't have a government right now because we don't have a Speaker of the House, and that means nothing can be pushed forward on the House floor. And oh, by the way, the budget is not good. They're at 20 days. They have 20 days, I think. I think they've wasted so many days. But they supposedly had 45 days to fix this problem. But I honestly don't think they're going to get there. And I think that even if they do meet the cutoff to get a speaker in there in time to pass a bill, the bill will be fought over. You know, it's bad enough we've got between 8 and 20 people that wear red ties that are just pretending they're running the world and that their ethics and their morals are more than what we need, that they have stronger moral character than anybody else, and they're not bending no matter what. And that's a problem. And we're going to find out at 11 or 12 o'clock today, whether this is something that can actually work, but it's pretty sickening at this point. I'm not even using the term it's interesting, because it's not. It's not interesting. We have a completely broken government. We have a president giving speeches from the Oval Office that mean nothing. And we have senators that literally don't have anything to do right now because the House can't push anything over to them. And the House can't even receive any bills from the Senate. Nothing can be done right now, guys. Our government is completely broken. And here's the worst part. Our enemies know it. Our enemies know it. We're going to go ahead and move on real quick to something a little bit more upbeat. If you enjoyed what I was just talking about, or you want to make a comment, I recommend that you do, guys. The more comments you make, the better it helps the algorithm to push people towards the video. It does help the channel, and it doesn't cost a single penny. But more importantly, it actually feeds the channel as far as information that I can react to and talk to you about, because people have questions, which you'll see at the very end of this video. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is Discord and the Patreon. Okay, so the Discord last night, while it happened very organically, we have a free Discord. I'll leave a link below where you guys can drop in. It's completely free, and the The Discord itself kind of got fired up last night because we turned it almost into like a watch party. It just started happening whenever something significant happens. Either I or another member of the Discord will drop in a link to a video. For instance, last night, the speech from the Oval Office was dropped into the general chat, and or news or something like that. There's like 15 channels in there, and so everybody just started chiming in. And at first, it was a big joke about, it was a meme factory, that kind of thing, But we were having a good time, interacting as a community. Absolutely loved it. It was a good time because it was literally like having like a little bitty like watch party. And we do see it's good because we can communicate with each other. Okay. But we also do get drop-ins all the time, almost daily now. A lot of times they drop in, they don't see immediately people talking, and then they leave. Well, they've dropped in, so they are part of that Discord channel now. And then they find out later on when we start talking again that, hey, oh boy, this is actually a pretty active thing. Now, what I thought was unique was there's actually a members-only Discord channel for the Patreons. Where we talk like this every single day. The same way that we were communicating last night for about half an hour, we do it every single day. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link below for the Discord, and obviously there should be a link below for the Patreon if you want to look into that. Now, with that said, guys, I want to... Patreon has been going through some updates lately, and I have not been getting notified. So I've actually got their names here in front of me. So I've had a whole buttload of people join the Patreon on the free side. There's actually a free side to the Patreon. You don't get much over there, but if you come in on the trial, then you'll see everything. You just won't get access to the library and all the other stuff that's actually worth money. So I want to do some special thanks to Trent, Killer Zombie 389, Sandra R, Dragnet, Sebastian A, RCW, TK, Star, and I'm pretty sure I know who Star is, Amanda, Twiggy, Thomas G, and I'm going to screw this up, but Vaswanath K. I want to thank you guys for joining the Patreon on the free side. Please take advantage of the trial offer if you're interested. If you don't like it, you just turn it off. It's that easy. But I wanted to say thanks to you guys because I had no idea you were there. Stupid Patreon. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is whether we like it or not. I need a sip of coffee. I'm looking at the news. Biden to request $105 billion foreign aid package. Nice. Let's see here. Guys, if you didn't know this, we're at war. We're totally at war. We have boots on the ground. We have ships at sea. We have airplanes flying around. We are at war. They just haven't labeled it yet because war has changed significantly since muskets and, trench warfare, things like that. Things have changed significantly. We have literally basically dipped our toe into war. Now, we have not been attacking yet, but we have definitely been defending. So multiple drone attacks were defended against in both Syria and Iraq in the last 24 hours. They are attacking our installations that are abroad. There was a shoot down of missiles in the Red Sea by one of our destroyers. So we are in war right now. We just haven't gone into attack mode yet. It is more than just normal, and we should never, ever, ever become used to these things happening and just, that happens every day. Don't worry about it. You know why? Because unless you're inside of a fob or you're on a ship, it doesn't happen every day. Those are the words of somebody who knows nothing about war. So please don't think that way. It's not smart, and it's not going to benefit you or anybody around you. Some other things that are being seen that most people didn't see. So it's interesting because it's viewed as support, and it's not. So first we sent our Secretary of State to Israel. Gave a speech. It was supposed to be this big, yeah. Then the Secretary of Defense showed up. Gave a big speech, and it was supposed to be, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're warrior buddies, yeah. And then the president showed up. Why do you all think that happened? It's pretty simple. The Secretary of State came with orders to say, please slow this down. Let democracy win. And the people of Israel, the leadership of Israel said, shut your damn mouth. Over 1,000 people are dead. This is our 9/11. We're not backing down. We're going to destroy Hamas. Then the Secretary of Defense came in and talked about this and talked about that. And at some point said, we got your back, man, but we really need you to calm the hell down. And the Minister of Defense for Israel said, no, that is not what's happening. We're going to destroy these people. You're either with us or you're against us. And so the president had to show up. The big guns. He had to show up. And he sat down with the leader of Israel. I can't remember his name. And also, by the way, they always have two presidents at any one time. It's kind of weird. And he said, hey, man, we just need you to calm down. We're here for you. We've got some ships out there. If some stuff goes down, we've got your backs. We just need you to calm down. Just slow your roll, man. And he basically was told, no. We love you. We appreciate your support. You're under contract, America, is what he said, because they are. We're going to destroy these people. And then our president left. Not with his tail between his legs, but he left. And then he had to play this game where, oh, there was no pushback at all. Why would you say that? Why would you say there's no pushback if there was no pushback? You see, politicians don't talk about the things that they don't want to talk about unless they have to talk about them. You know, we've got the president making speeches about nothing but intentions to spend more money on wars. You know, the administration is bumbling through the process, pretending to know what they're doing. I'm going to leave you on with this subject with a quote. And I would love for you guys to figure out who said this. So I'll say it for you right now. When you've been a knife for 33 years, you know when you're being handled by an amateur. Our administration is lost. And we are too, if we don't figure this out very, very fast. If you want to, put some comments down below. We'll talk about them in the next video. I encourage you to do it, and I welcome you to do it. So let's see here. The next thing I want to talk about is something we kind of talked about before, but I wanted to bring you guys up to speed. It's PrepStock 2024. That's right. It's a year away, guys. But we've moved well beyond the planning. We are in the execution phase. I wanted to bring you guys up to speed on this. Tomorrow, Friday, I will be driving over to Nebo, North Carolina. That's about 5.5, almost 6-hour drive, depending on how heavy your foot is. We're going to be conducting the site survey of this campsite and the areas that are in it. We're going to be taking lots of videos and pictures and surveying things, some surveys. We're going to do an area reconnaissance. We've already gotten probably a huge amount of the work done already, but what we want to do is walk the ground and see what it's going to be like to move from the campsites to, because the campsites are all walk-in, guys. There's no room for your RVs or your cars. There's parking, but they're all walk-in sites, which I actually think is pretty cool. It's right on a damn lake, so it doesn't get any better than that. But I'm going to be conducting the planning meeting with Jester. We're going to figure out all the particulars, and we're going to start moving forward from there. Now, here's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Listen, some people are not listening to me, all right? This thing is not going away. And if you're like, well, I'm not going to spend that $34.99 right now because I need that to buy me some bullets. Hey, man, whatever. It is what it is. But come October 2024, unless we're in the middle of a damn war, PrepStock is going to be going off. You're going to have missed out on the opportunity. All the campsites are going to be taken up. You guys need to strike while the iron is hot, and we need you to do it. We need you to do it as quickly as possible. That's why we put That's why we lowered the ticket prices so much, so we could get an idea of who's actually going to show up. From the last video, you guys should know we have lots of stuff lined up for you, and we're actually going to be going and talking with some of the local businesses in the area that are going to be supporting PrepStock. So this is a real thing. It is going to happen. I can only say it so many times. It's like you can lead a horse to water type of thing. I can only say it so many times. The advanced tickets are available right now. Yes, I'm sorry, they're on Clapper. If you don't have Clapper, then I don't know what to tell you. But if you don't have Clapper and you really want these tickets, well, don't you really have the problem? Okay, so PrepStock.net, that's the website where you can go to get the advanced tickets. It'll lead you through a video process. Get the app, do what I'm telling you to do, and you'll get your tickets, no problem. Okay, so, and that's where I'll be. And I'm probably going to actually do maybe a live. I don't know what the connection is going to be like there, but I'll probably do like a live or post some videos from there just so you guys know what to do, what's going on. I'll probably post them in either the Discord, and I'll definitely be posting some of them in the members-only Discord area or on in the Patreon itself. Okay, so we're going to, if you got questions about PrepStock, please put them in the comments. I will be happy to answer them for you. All right, so comments. Just like I talked about in the last video, where I'm actually like responding to comments, guys. If it's a legitimate question, if it is valid and it looks like you put a little bit of effort into it, then I'm going to answer it. So this first question comes from Jordan O'Neill's, who I believe is a Patreon. It's from the last roll-up. It's from my last video. She asked, can you please clarify why they are fighting at all? Jordan, it's actually pretty simple. Years ago, it's in the 40s, I think it was 47. Years ago, the Jews were well before that, in thousands of years, the Jews were dispersed throughout the Eastern world. And in the 40s, the United Nations said, hey, there's a patch of land over here. We're going to cut it in half. This half is for the Jews. This half is for the Palestinians. Well, the Jews, I hate saying Jews. It always sounds pejorative. But the Jews said, hey, we're going to do this right, guys. Let's set up a state. Let's make an army. Let's get everything going here, okay? Bring parts of the world under Beijing. So, okay, yeah, Russia and China talking, just watching the news over here. And so they started to do it right. Well, the Palestinians just were like, well, this is our land, and we're going to live like cavemen and do the things we want to do. Praise Allah. Or, inshallah, that kind of thing. Oh, I've never spoken Arabic before, but yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. So that's what happened. And the Jews have been fighting for their own state forever. They officially made it a state. The day after they did was the 6-Day War, where 5 countries that surround I think it's 5 countries that surround Secret Defense. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by F-35 or Su-31s, I believe. Anyway, so 6-Day War. Jews kicked all their asses. And they're an established state, a country. Well, the Palestinians never did this. So now there's, you've got the Gaza Strip, and then you've got frickin', the West Bank, or Palestine itself. No, the West Bank's north. But anyway, so you've got Palestine itself, and then you've got the Gaza Strip. Now, forever, the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip have been like, we hate you. You stole our land. And this all comes down to, they didn't steal anything. You decided you wanted to attack and kill all of them. You've mandated it over and over and over and over and over. You've said it. This is the way God is going to do it, inshallah. Right? Well, it didn't work out. And it's called the spoils of war. The blood and treasure of war. Maybe my Palestinian followers should read a few things about that. And so basically, you got your asses kicked. They pushed you back. They made what you thought was your land even smaller, because every single time they got involved with you, you you attacked them. You tried to kill them. It's so bad that the area that surrounds the Gaza Strip, for I believe it's at least 1 mile, can only be farmland, just so that you can't pull the crap that you're pulling now. That's why they have rockets, guys, because there's nothing that's right next to. They can't just attack from their bathroom windows like they want to. So anyway, that's why they're fighting. And if all that means really nothing, then I think that the fighting all now is because they just killed, what, 1,300 people? Yeah. And for a state that is so small, if you look at that, I want to think of what's, do the math for me, guys. Put it in the comments. What is that, 13 or 14 9/11s? Something like that. Yeah, it's pretty serious. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question, Jordan. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. We've got the NDE couple. This is also coming from the last roll-up video. It says an EMP would set off all-out nuclear war. One missile that sets off an EMP will set off all-out nuclear war. Okay, type it twice. Our nukes are EMP shielded. This is our nukes are EMP shielded. NDE couple, 1, thank you for the comment. 2, you're absolutely right. Our nukes are EMP shielded. There's a lot of things that are EMP shielded. But an all-out nuclear war? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A full strategic release is very, very unlikely. And our ability to communicate with those sites it's not impossible. There are several different ways for them to communicate with them. But let's just say that simply because an EMP went off over, say, Las Vegas, or no, not Las Vegas, but like Los Angeles, San Diego port. Let's say if one went off, over New York or the port of Norfolk, the Chesapeake Bay, that kind of thing. Or one was central. Maybe they did it with all one big one and knocked out the power grid and everybody's cell phone and car and whatever it may be. Our nukes would still work, and we'd still have a way to communicate with command to launch or not launch. But the reality is that there's a huge difference between an EMP and killing millions of people. Then you have to measure in the human effect of, I did that. Yeah. You have to measure that in too. So I'm going to go with 50-50, and I don't think that I answered your question because it really wasn't a question, but I thought that it was valid, and I guess you would say, I guess my response would be, are you prepared? I'm prepared. I plan on driving right through that crap. EMP shield. Link in the description. Let's see, from the roll-up. Oh my God, I'm going to try to say this name. Temi Tolapaping. Temitolapinga. Temitolapinga. I'm not even going to say that. 449. Thank you for the comment. If they make bombs and missiles in hospitals and schools, of course, in capital letters, they're putting those places in danger. So they clearly do something. Don't care about civilians in the surrounding areas. No, they don't. They don't. Hamas is a terrorist organization. That's it, guys. They are a terrorist organization. 90% of the budget comes from Iran. And so they are not interested in anything but jihad, killing every infidel they can find, especially the Jews. All right, let's see here. And the last one was from Vapor 1115. And this came off of the video that I did yesterday talking about the global warning to U.S. citizens. And his statement, well, this person's statement is, now the real question will be, is this authentic or is this a false flag? And sadly, I have to lean in to it being my own government. So basically saying his own government is saying this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on that, Vapor. And the reason is because we didn't bomb Israel. We didn't kill 1,000 people in Israel. We didn't shoot a bunch of Russians today in that place we can't talk about, and a bunch of Russians didn't shoot those people who have all the cranes today. But those things are still happening. We do have geopolitical and national security concerns that will affect America at some point. The general idea is to keep your enemy at bay. Fall law, to keep them, engage them at the maximum distance, which means paying other people to fight things that are in our best interest. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. Ethically, I don't agree with it, but politically, I do agree with it. It's the smartest way to do things. It keeps our people from getting dead. And since we just make money, we just print the money, who cares, right? I mean, I think the average U.S. citizen is now, based on the national debt, is almost $500,000, responsible for almost $500,000. But I mean, nobody cares about that anyway. Anyway, so as far as it being a false flag, no, it's not a false flag. Could a false flag be ran to try and draw us in? Yes, but here's the thing: from the very beginning, guys, we are at war. We are already in it. We're just on the outskirts, guys. We're on the edges of this war. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed when they show all the maps? Have you seen Fox News how they've got their new little battle map where it's like where they can like draw on it? It's like a hodgepodge between the Madison drawing board and frickin' and the boards, the electronic boards that they use for counting votes. It's some cool technology, but once you see it, it's like they just really want to, I don't know, kind of go a little crazy with it. Okay, guys, that's all the comments I have for now. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. As far as coffee goes, thank you to me for brewing my own coffee this morning. I don't really do that whole other thank other people for my coffee. All right, so I've developed this little next thing. It's called What's Next. And it's basically what I'm up to and how you will be seeing me in the future. So what's next? Right now I'm working out a bug out versus bug in video. I've had a lot of people asking about that, the differences, how I would go about it, and the decision and the actual decision process. The one thing that I will not be doing, guys, I will not be diving into the dumpster fire of developers that are screaming war for clicks. That's not what I'm going to be doing. You're going to be basically seeing about half of my videos will be about information, what's happening, and some opinion. And the other half is going to be prepping videos. Like I said, you've got these roll-ups. Sometimes I tried putting it out in the evening. It did okay, but now I'm going to start putting these out in the morning. That way, I want to make it a balanced level of content that you're getting. If I'm screaming the world is ending every single video, then I'm going to look like a moron because eventually I'll be wrong, and that is not something I'm willing to do for you guys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close this up right now. As usual, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links below to do that with. In the interim, keep stacking those cans. Stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. PrepStock 2024. Get the link. Get the tickets. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.